Hello, my friends. It is so good to be here. It has been a few days, and I'm just so happy to be back. I have been in my feels. I've just been navigating all of them into the depths of everything, allowing myself to be. And so I took a couple days off. And I feel like I have moved through some stuff that I needed to be able to come out on the other side more as who I'm becoming. And so it's just great to be here, to see all of you, to be able to connect once again. And it brings us to today, which I really want to talk about something that I just love so much. It has changed my entire life. It has made my life something that is just profound. And it's for everybody. It's how we actually live, but so many of us realize it. And it is manifesting. The truth is, we are manifesting all the time, whether we realize it or not. You're either doing it consciously or you're doing it unconsciously, but either way, well, it's happening. And so, what is manifesting? Manifesting is the act of essentially calling in or creating whatever it is that you desire through your thoughts, through your beliefs, through your actions, through the ways of life. And so it is aligning our energy, our natural abilities to just create what we want, to build the lives that we desire, and usually in a positive manner. But the truth is you can manifest negatively too, or at least the things that you don't want if you're not doing this consciously. So today I want to talk about exactly how to learn how to manifest in a conscious manner so that you can get the most out of this practice, so that you can live intentionally and create whatever life you want to. Because like I said, whether you are into this or not, either way it's happening. It's just the way that this all works. So you might as well tune in. My ears ringing right now, which is telling me that this is so true. We are on the bridge going over into what is all meant to be, which means that we're harnessing the natural laws of the universe. And manifestation is probably the most important one because it lets us create the lives we want with intention. So let's dive right into it. The first step that you have to do to be able to create whatever you want is you have to know what you need. You need to visualize it. If you can't imagine what you want to have, what you are trying to get, what you're trying to build, who you're trying to be, if you can't imagine it, how are you going to get it? You have to tune in to the details, to the colors, to the all of the small little descriptions of it. You got to tune in. And you have to. I mean, it's like, oh, well, I just want a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's like the universe is like, okay, here you go. Like if you want a car, what car do you want? What's the color of it? What's the make, the model? What color interior does it have? All of these small descriptive things. What does it even smell like inside? What's it feel like when you're sitting in that driver's seat? What is the view out the back mirror? What is all of this stuff? If you were trying to transform yourself into a new version of you, who is that? Like, really imagine what is the life that they want to have? What are you doing? What are you talking about? All of these small description things, visualize it. This is why vision boards, people do them all the time. I'm sure you've heard of it. Especially if you're listening to this, you're like kind of in tune already. And so you probably heard about some of these like lower, well, more common known techniques of manifestation that are just small pieces of the puzzle. And one of them is a vision board. That is the truth. People do vision boards all the time. I do as well. I kind of build mine as I'm going because life is transforming all the time. But a vision board helps you to visualize what you want. The more specific that you get into it, the more incredibly close you will get to getting what you want. And I guarantee you'll probably get exactly what you want. You just have to believe it. You have to visualize it. You have to see what it is that you want and hold that in the mind's eye, really. Because if you can't imagine it, it's not going to come. And so many people are like, oh, well, I'm just going with the flow. And, if I get this or that, it's okay. It's like, well, then you're going to get this or that, but not exactly what you want. And you're always going to be kind of happy, but you want something that is specific. So tune into that specific thing. Visualization is the first and most important step of manifesting, because if you can't visualize it, you're not going to get what you actually want. This is something I'm before I jump in, you have to also realize that you have to focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Okay. And we'll get into why that's the reason in just a little bit here. But if you are focusing and visualizing on the things you don't want, I'm sorry, but you're going to call that into place too. And so don't focus on what you don't want. Focus on what you do want. Really tune into what the details are, what it looks like, what it is, all of this stuff. Tune into those descriptions of whatever you want. Do it. Go over the top with it. Really journal it, talk about it, be it, draw it, find pictures online, put it on that vision board, visualize, okay? After you visualize and you figured out exactly what you want, tune into step 2, okay? This one goes hand in hand with manifestation, because if you don't do it, it's just not going to work. And that's that you have to believe that you have it. You have to. You have to believe that it is already in your reality. Because what you're doing is you are adjusting your energies to be in a alignment with the reality that exists. Hey, there's Birdie. Cute little baby. But, so, believe it. Believe it. Feel it. Like, we're going to get into that. But believe exactly it. You have to have such strong, unwavering beliefs that it is so real. And you believe it before you see it. Okay? So many people only will believe it once they see it. That is the old way of thinking that makes you believe that the external world isn't created by the internal world. We're tuning into the opposite, which is that the internal world is creating the external world, because the reality is it is, okay? It just is. And so you have to believe it before you see it. You have to see it through the visualization in your mind's eye and then believe it, because you have visualized it, not because it's here already. We're calling it in, we're creating it, we're manifesting it. And so believe it wholeheartedly. Something that you have to tune into too is getting into what your beliefs in the core of your system are. What are your beliefs? Especially the limiting beliefs, okay? Because if your limiting beliefs are in there programmed and interacting with the way your nervous system is and everything, saying, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, all of this, what is that doing? It is the actual belief system telling you that you're not worthy of getting what you want. And if that's the case, how could you get it? So tune into what you feel deep down and work. Do some shadow work, which I'll get into in another video. Do some shadow work and allow yourself to get down into what those limiting beliefs are, so you can transform them from the ground up. Because you have to fully be in the belief that you already have it, that you are the version of yourself that has it right now. So believe that. And I think that something that helps with this is going to be the next step, because they go hand in hand, and that is feel. Okay? Step 3 is to feel. It is tuning into the body, because belief is in the mind. Belief is that. It is a mental thing. I believe it. This is why affirmations are important. So with that belief step, tune into affirmations. I have what I want, whatever. So many affirmations are out there. I listen to them while I'm sleeping. I literally program myself while I'm sleeping. It's amazing. It helps. Anyway, back to the feeling step, is that you have to feel like you have it. Like you are the version of yourself in the reality, in the time frame where it already exists. It is you. You have to feel like it. The best way for me to put this is, what would it feel like to be the version of you that has it? Because I guarantee you there's some shifts you have to make to step into the energy, to embody who is the version of you that feels like what you have. If I were to get a new car, I just got a new truck not that long ago, okay? So grateful, and I manifested this truck. It's exactly what I wanted. It's amazing. It works. But I was driving a 4-door sedan before, okay? Let me tell you, I can't be the same Rory that is driving a 4-door sedan as in order to get into a truck. I have to step into a totally new way of being, a version of Rory that now drives a truck. and I had to visualize what the truck was, the color. I had to believe that I had it. I had to envision what it was like to drive up high in the truck, all of these things, because you're calling in that reality. And then you feel like, oh my God, it feels so good to have this truck. Holy moly, because I have it right now. And I did this. It took me a few weeks, but I got it. It works. And if as you practice this, you get better and better and better. And so tune into the feelings within you. The nervous system is so in alignment with programming the mind and creating our realities that we have to be able to program how we feel in order to come into alignment with whatever we want. Because if you don't feel like you're good enough for $500,000, how the heck are you going to get $500,000? Because you're in an energy of lack of $100. The feeling of being a person that has $100 is a whole lot different than how it feels to be the person that has $500,000. So tune into this. Who is the version of you that has all of this? Feel it. Feel it deeply, okay? And this is kind of interesting because with this step, you can actually like use your imagination to imagine what it would feel like. So then you can start to feel it because you've never been a person that has $500,000. And so you have to imagine, call in that mind's eye to be able to really see what it would feel like based off your imagination. The imagination creates everything. So tune into that and use it to your advantage. Okay, after that, step 4, which is another extremely important. I'm going to step back. Step 4 is probably the most important step of all of them, though each one of these has to all happen. If you miss one, it's not going to work. But step 4 is to act. Act just like the version of yourself that has the $500,000 would. Okay? And when I say that, I'm not saying go spend all your money, but you might have to take risks to invest into yourself to make more money. Okay? So this is about strategic action. And by that, I mean, if you're trying to manifest $500,000 and you're just sitting on the couch and you're believing and you're visualizing and you're feeling, but you're not doing anything to get out there to actually make this money, you're never going to get it. I'm sorry. Maybe if you're incredibly powerful and you are able to just like call in some incredibly rare check that lands in the mail for 500K, good job. Good job. Let me know how the hell you do that because I don't know anyone that's been able to. But with that being said, maybe it's that you have to go to the store to be able to buy a scratch ticket, a lottery ticket. That's an act. And maybe you don't hit the grand prize, but you get $500,000 on one of the smaller prizes. Boom. There you go. The act was actually going out there and getting that ticket. If you had never gotten it, you will never be able to align and actually do it. This also goes with maybe you're trying to make a multi-million-dollar business or whatever. Me getting my truck. Okay? When I was trying to get my truck, I would have never gotten it if I hadn't gotten out of my way and I went and I searched and I was devoted and I was figuring out my money situation and doing these small actions that brought me into alignment with an individual way of being that is in alignment with getting the truck. You have to do the actions. What is it that you have to do in order to create and call in what you want? Okay. And then follow it. If you want $1 million business, how do you build a business? You act by doing one small step after another, while keeping in your mind's eye the $1 million business as the end goal and everything, what it feels like to be a millionaire, believing that you are becoming a millionaire or you're already a millionaire more so, and then acting so that you start to step into that energy more and more. And that brings you into the last step, which is really just a combination of all of them together, which is about embodiment. Okay? To really manifest, you have to understand that sometimes, especially big things you're trying to manifest, it takes time to call that in. Okay? The reality, the world, the universe, all of it, spirit is organizing the atoms of existence into place so that it comes into your existence, into your life. So it takes time for this to all line up. That truck had to go from one person to the dealership to the next dealership or whatever for me to then find it through my search. But for all of that to happen, you have to embody it. And what I mean by this and why I say it takes time is because it might take you time of visualizing, of believing, of feeling, of acting. All of those create an identity of an individual, okay? Which means that you are stepping into a new version of you, a new energy of you, new vibrational frequency that you then have to stand in strong and embody. That's it. If you aren't being it every day, how is it going to come to be? Okay? Because no person that acts like a poor person becomes a multimillionaire by building a business. If you are living on the streets and doing all this and that, like maybe, in a very rare case, you can make it happen. But in normal day-to-day situation for the majority of us, you have to start to step into newer versions of yourself that fall into alignment with that, what you want to manifest. Okay. So embodiment is probably the most important thing because what this is, it is holding all of what you have been doing through the previous 4 steps, holding it, and it is being it, stepping into it, owning it, continuing to move forward, even if it hasn't yet manifested into your reality. It is staying as that because you believe with undeniable faith that it is absolutely coming because you tune back to that belief one and you feel like it is real, it is happening. I don't have any lack of belief in the world. I know it's happening. You embody it, you are it, and you keep walking the talk and you do all the things. Eventually, it comes to be through the actions, through the visualization, through the belief, through the feeling. All of this creates embodiment. The embodiment is, in short, stepping into a new version of you that is in direct alignment with what you would like. Now, this is 5 steps. It's not a lot, okay? 5 steps. It's not necessarily easy, though. This stuff takes practice. It is a practice. All of it comes together to create the embodiment, to call in what you want, okay? And you can get anything. I mean, you can go from a broke boy to a rich man because you follow this process. And the process nowadays, especially because of the new quantum everything, this is just how it is. This is called quantum shifting. It is, in my eyes, like the true, fully embodied alignment of manifestation. It is taking everything, all the small pieces you hear from the videos, from people on YouTube and people on Instagram and whatever, and they give you like one little blip of like, oh, affirmations do this or whatever, and they do, but that's like one small fraction. It's a tiny little bit. And so what this is giving you everything. It's putting it all together, and it is giving you exactly the equation to quantum shift into a new timeline as that new version of you that has what you want. And from there, it all comes together. Okay, the thing I freaking love about this is that you can do this for anything in life. Anything. It is how life works with everything. I mean, I'm not kidding. Everything. It just is. And let me tell you, if you keep getting what you don't want, you're probably focused on what you don't want. And then you blame the outside situations until you start to listen to what we've been talking about and you turn inward and you see, oh crap, I've been so worried about it playing out wrong that, my worst fears would come true. So I manifested that because I believed so strongly. I visualized, I felt, I acted even as if I was trying to prevent it from happening. And so what happened? The thing I didn't want. And so all manifestation comes down to focusing, believing, feeling, and acting towards what you want and embodying it as if it's true. And it becomes a magical thing. It does. Birdie does it all the time. She manifests me giving her treats left and right because she sits there and meows and she knows that I'll do it and all of this stuff. And then I'm like, all right, you got it. You're too cute. But this is manifestation. This is quantum shifting. This is next level stuff. You're going to knock it over? Yeah, see, she just did it. I knew it was coming. But I mean, this changes your life. This changed my life. It has made me live many lives in one because I have sped up my timeline so quick of all the stuff that comes to play that I just moved through it in a way that I never knew I could before because I blamed the external situations instead of realizing I had been in control the whole time. I just didn't know how it worked. Then I worked with the mushroom in a heck of a lot of ways. I studied, I practiced, I did all of this stuff. And through that, it taught me this essentially equation of how to actually manifest anything that you desire by putting these steps into place. And so take these and have fun. Learn from them, but know it takes time to actually become good at it. Because deep down, you'll start doing this and there will be that limiting belief deep down, that subconscious fear, oh, this isn't going to work. You know, this is woo-woo garbage. It's not actually real. I kind of believe maybe a little, but I don't fully. And so because you don't fully believe yet, it's not going to happen in the ways that you wish. But you keep practicing, you keep devoting yourself to it, you start to see little tiny results, little glimmers of hope through this practice, and all of a sudden you believe it more and more and more until you come to a place where you're like, oh my gosh, I am consciously creating everything now because I know I can get it. I know it. There's not a doubt in my mind. I feel it. I am it. I believe it. I see it. It's happening. And it will happen. So you want to become a millionaire? Check back in 10 years. Let me know where you're at. I bet you $10 if you actually put this into practice and devote yourself to it in the ways you need to, you will come back and say, hey, Rory, just want to let you know you were right. I'm a millionaire. Boom. Because we're all going there, baby. That's the truth. We're all leveling up, and this is how you hack the system so that you can work with the laws of the universe to create any life you want. And so, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, for holding space, for being here and learning how to show up in a better way so that we can create a better world. Because it's our responsibility to use these tricks and tips and everything to manifest and quantum shift and whatnot to build a better earth. We need that. It's time for us to intentionally do that through these practices. So I'm here to help you. You're here to help the world. We're all doing it together, baby, and it is a beautiful thing. I love you. Thanks for always being here. I'll see you really soon. Like I said, I'm feeling good. I mean, my energy is back in hot. I moved through what I needed to. I allowed the rest. I moved it all. We're back in business, baby. Let's have some fun. So, I'll see you soon. I love you so much. Bye.